Because I was so self-confident, because I had such a big ego, I thought I can do everything on my own. So I took everything over from all the other teams, from all the other colleagues, from the whole team. I said, I will do it because I'm the only one who can ensure the success, the only one who can ensure the required quality. So I took it over, and in the beginning it worked out quite well. But it changed. And step by step, I turned into this guy. For some this might be a hero, but real life looks differently. I wasn't happy what I was doing. I was sitting in my corner, complaining about the others because they don't know what is going on, they don't know how to do it. I'm the only one who can do it. And I started feeling alone. I started feeling overcharged, overworked, and I wasn't happy anymore. My passion was gone. And it's so important because when you don't have the passion, it's so difficult to make something big, out of your company. And it didn't only affect myself, no. It affected the people surrounding me, my team, my partners, anyone who was involved in the project in a negative way. They felt it too. So for me, the moral of the story is very clear. There are good things happening, there are bad things happening. When you have your company, when you have your startup, I would say it's around 50-50. But if there is something I would change right from the beginning because I know it's negative, then it's pushing my own ego back. That's what I want to tell you. And once I've started doing it, I started talking less and listen more. Listen to what the people in my surroundings had to say. And it was so beneficial for me and the company. Why? Because the more I listened, the more valuable information and insights I got, the better I could make my decisions. So, what happened? I started getting passion back. I started doing less work and was happy again. And it was also important for the people surrounding me because they felt, okay, they can contribute with their ideas. So, again, I changed into this little guy, and believe it or not, you want to be this guy. Because this guy is happy in what he's doing, this guy is balanced in what he's doing, this guy is balanced. Again, I repeated it, but trust me, you want to be this guy. And then I started feeling again, identifying myself with what I was doing. And it changed everything surrounding me. So that's what I've learned. Sometimes it's better to talk less and listen more. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Candice, for your speech. So now we have time for 2 to 3 specific questions from the audience. Yes.
When was your turning point? I mean, did anything explicitly happen?
Yeah.
When you realized?
Sometimes you know things are bad, okay? But it still takes time so that you said, okay, no, I have to change it. For instance, in 2 years, I had 4 relationships. For instance, this something was private, but it also had to do with my ego. Because out of my ego, I was working all the time. And nobody could be with me. So this is something that affected me. And after the 4 relationships, I said, oh God, something is not working. The same with my team. In the beginning, I wasn't self-reflecting, very much when I started the company. But step after step, you also change. You start listening, and you see the people, how they behave, how they react when you say something. And when you want to tell them something, sometimes they push back because they're afraid, because they're afraid that you're not happy with what they're doing. At one point, you will realize it because it's so dominant. And all these factors contributed to me okay, now I have to change, That's what happened.
Another question, maybe, from the audience, just to wrap up the story.
Yes?
So what were your first steps in that changing process? So you realized, okay, I need to change. So the other day you just were quiet and listen only, or what did you do to get to that point?
First of all, I started like letting people finish what they were talking about. You know, in the beginning I wasn't letting them finish because I said, no, we have to do it differently. So I said, okay, I will give it a try. Let's see what is coming out of it. And then I didn't threw my answer right into their face. You know, I listened to what they were saying and then I started repeating it loudly, repeating what they were saying. So have I understood you in the right way? Do you mean this and this? And while I was doing this, I was reflecting, you know. And then I started like giving an answer after some time. The other thing is what you can do is like write things up, you know. If there is a lot of information, people are talking with you, you just write it on a paper, you summarize all the information, and in the end, you can give the answer, you know. But you need some kind of patience, you know. And I think it also has to do with like my age, you know. The older I got, the more experience I got, became more used. I got more used to this, you know, this kind of behavior. That's what I did actually. I hope it helps you.
Yeah.
Yes?
And what do you think if you were so open-minded and attentive in the beginning and listened to the other ideas, would you have anyhow to scroll it through? Would you maybe be distracted by those ideas and eventually do you think that it would have worked if you would push your ego back in the beginning?
Understand. So, for instance, if we would have succeeded in what we were doing if I didn't have that kind of ego, that's what you mean?
Yeah, I mean, because, you know, in the very beginning, I think you need to be really confident about your idea and impose it onto the others in a way, because sometimes things do not work.
Yeah.
And I'm just curious because I'm more like the person who is always listening to the others, and everybody says, okay, you're not confident enough to push your idea through.
Yeah.
Would you think that it would have worked if you were so attentive and I don't know, perceptive as you do that?
Thank you for your question. I believe that you can be self-confident and listening to others at the same time. You know, I actually believe that when you're always like trying to oppose or like force your opinion on others, this doesn't stand for self-confidence. And yes, I believe because of this ego, I've achieved things which I might not have without it. But this doesn't mean that I couldn't listen to others. And I believe actually, if I listened more to what others were saying, we could have done things much more faster, like much faster and much better. That's what I believe, because it saves you time. Listening to like people who are more experienced cuts time. You know, that's what you need. For instance, I now have more experience, and I involve myself in other startups, you know, who are also like very at an early stage, and I help them with what I've experienced, and it also saves them time, you know. So yes, you need ego, that's important, but you can also listen to others, and in the end you can also still go your way, but at least listen to what others have to say. Will widen your horizon, will give you more perspectives. I'm 100% sure will make a better decision in the end. Thank you.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Just wanted to have the Q&A session after speeches short, so we can have some more open questions afterwards in the discussion round. So no worries, you will get more chances to ask Candice questions. So our next speaker is going to be Nicola Verdini.
Good evening, thanks for coming, thanks for the invitation. There is a nice history with this institute in connection with the company and the startup I'm telling now. It's a real fuck-up story. We started in 2006 with the real company producing individual design skis. I have to tell you a bit of history of that. I come from a skiing family. I was ski racing, ski instructor, ski building. We discovered internet very early. So my husband started his first internet congress in 1995. And the combination of skiing and this internet communication, and also the development of different kind of skiing, this shaped skiing, better known as carving skis. I was an early adopter and developer, led into the idea of start up with a company to individual design skis. There was a big challenge because this time everything was, it was a hype with individualization just at this time. Marketing was, everybody had to be individual, and we started to develop toolkits where people could design skis on the internet directly in the browser, not in a special graphic program. Also the communication with our customers was based on internet and also focused on snow meetings, but our thing, we were an internet brand developing and selling and designing skis. So the first challenge was to find a way to separate the ski building process, which is, if you do it in high quality, it's quite a big process, and to separate it from the design layer to get quick results. So we could deliver individual graphic design within hours, because we discovered a new process. But this also was a risk to find the ways and things. So we all did it quite good. So this shows my husband and me and some co-workers and partners at the ISPO, which is the biggest sporting goods exhibition in Munich. And we won the design award overall in 2007. We had a nice B2B selling. We were successful. And also the community was good, and everything looked good. So we haven't been in a state to go for mass customization. So this was the next goal, to find out how to do mass customization. We had to end the testing